guys, it's Holly here at Faces. Welcome back to the Face It podcast. Today I'm here with the lovely Monique from Ugly Duckling Beauty. Monique, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. So do you want to just give us a bit of insight into how your business started, how you got into the aesthetics industry, and how you built your business to where it is today?
Okay, so I started Ugly Duckling Beauty 11 years ago this month. It basically all just started because I started making my own skincare products because my son suffered from eczema. So it was all on the quest of kind of like basically, you know, making skin better and whatnot. So yeah, I started off making products and then it worked on his eczema. I actually cured his eczema. And then I ended up having like a market stall selling my creams, and it was a good seller. We caught the attention of Asda, obviously the big supermarket, who wanted to stock our products. But at the time, they wanted to do it like on a sale and return. So I knew that I had to basically get my product, you know, to look like a product that belongs on, you know, a supermarket shelf.
Yeah.
I knew that had to be a lot of an investment. And also there was the risk of it being on a sale and return, like, oh my gosh, what if it doesn't sell? You know, like all that worry. So either way, I was like, let's do this. So I thought, right, I need to do a side hustle.
Yeah.
And I've always liked doing beauty. So I thought, right, maybe I'll just go and do like a course and, you know, do a bit of beauty, and maybe I can, you know, that type of income that comes in, I can put it towards like rebranding our skincare products. So that's literally what I've done. I went and done an MVQ, like part-time, as I was still making my skincare. I finished that quite quickly. I think it could probably in about 6 months or so.
Yeah.
I finished that. So I was doing beauty treatments and I was selling skincare. I had a store at the famous Spitalfields Market for a good couple of years. So I was just doing that. I was like literally on my hustle, and every bit of money that I got, I would put it back into the skincare brand. And then it just got to a point where I started doing really well at doing beauty, if that makes sense. It's just like that completely overtook what I originally planned for. So I just started doing beauty and I loved it. I loved the interaction with the clients. I loved that, you know, the clients were happy with the results of their treatment. I really felt it, you know, it was fulfilling for me. And at the time I was really young when I started it. I was probably about 21 or so. I'm gonna have to do my calculations. I was in my early 20s. My maths is so bad. I was in my early 20s. At that time, I had 2 kids. I've got 4 kids now. And I think that's the great thing about being in this industry. I know there's a lot of mothers out there, and it's just that it gives you that flexibility to, you know, do a client maybe before the school run or whatnot. But it literally just grew and grew and grew. And we've still got clients from the first time when I started, which was so sweet, that have stayed with us. And it feels like a family. But yeah, it was just, I don't even know how I got here. It's just by chance. Yeah. And, you know, obviously, I think the thing for me that customers always bring up is the way that you make them feel. And I think people like that. I'm quite an honest person. Yeah. And that's how Ugly Duckling got here.
Right. So I've got some questions. First of all, is the skincare still a thing? Like, is that still, because I have eczema, so I'm like, I need this.
Do you know what? Yeah, I am so like literally, I'm a woman of like many talents. I've got so much things I'm juggling, and it is a thing. It's like exclusive, like to the customers. My customers that know, I'll be like, right, they'll be like, come on, I've got this on my skin. Like, what can I do? And like, do you know what, hon? I've got you. Let me go to my little skincare kitchen and whip you something up and make something for you. Yeah, I do sell one of my facial oils called Very Gorgeous, and that has been a hit with our clients. It's like an antioxidant oil, and it's really good if you've got inflamed skin. It's just natural. It's a natural anti-aging product. I love it. But I don't do my whole range that I used to do, which used to be mainly focused on body butters.
Yeah.
But yeah. I just like making things, and especially
that.
like a lot of natural skincare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name of your skincare? Was it Ugly Duckling?
No, it wasn't. It was named after my daughter, Erica Renee. So it was called Erica Renee Skincare. So it was named after her. So I used to say it was named after my daughter, but inspired by my son, but made with love.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's what it was called.
love that. Just so you're aware, on a separate note, if you did ever want to sell it, we can
Yeah.
sell it on Faces for you. So
Oh,
if there's
that's so
like,
good. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
we'll have another chat about that, because obviously you
Okay,
can
cool.
purchase products from Faces, so we're always looking for
Yeah.
new sellers to join. So if you ever just wanted to list your products on there,
Yeah.
obviously you literally just put them on and then people can buy them. It's a bit like how
Oh,
Amazon
that's fantastic.
So
Yeah, that's good.
we'll have another chat about that, because I want to
Yeah,
buy some
cool.
of this eczema cream, because literally nothing ever works.
Oh,
So where did Ugly Duckling come from then? What made you think of that name?
the name. Do you know what? I can't. My husband is usually with me. He's usually by my side, but we got two shops. He's just in the other shop across the road, probably having his fifth Nespresso. It all came from Edward. He came up with the idea because I think, like in general, a lot of like beauty salons are usually like the name, or it's all very quite popular, quite common. Like you'll come across 1,000 like names that are just identical. But we all know the story by Hans Christian Andersen, Ugly Duckling Beauty, and it's just a story of transformation. And we all know that he was never ugly. It was a beautiful swan. It just takes time, and I think that's like with everybody. I mean, we've all kind of gone through, like, I know I have gone through an awkward stage in life where we, yet to blossom and come into our own. So I just love the fact that it's a lovely story, and it's all about transformation, and it was just perfect. It just seemed fitting. And also it gives us a lot of pressure as well, because it's like we don't want customers to be like, oh, I went to Ugly Duckling Beauty and I came out ugly. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure with that name. It carries great responsibility.
Yeah, but also it stands out as well.
It does.
Like you say, I think a lot of aesthetic and beauty businesses are very like girly names and quite like samey, whereas that stands out. So
well, we had to trademark it because it was so unusual, but
amazing. Okay, so talking a little bit about treatments then. So obviously you've been in the industry for a really long time. What treatments would you say at the moment are super popular with your clients?
Do you know what? The most super popular treatments have to be skin boosters.
Yeah.
Like your 70 Hull, your Lumia, your Profilo, like everyone seems to be loving them, especially like using them in combination with other treatments. So if someone's having toxins or fillers. And I love educating clients about treatments. So I'm forever looking and researching and seeing what I can offer my clients as well. And I feel like my clients are very trusting of me because they know how I am as a person, that I only ever want the best for them.
Yeah.
So it's all about, we're growing older together as well. Like I said, I had my clients for a long time. So we're all kind of like at that same stage. So if I'm looking for something for myself, I'm like, right, if I like it, maybe my clients might like it, But skin boosters are so popular at Ugly Duckling. So
they are amazing. I mean, they're just so big now, aren't they? And I think they're not like an obvious aesthetic treatment. Like a lot of people don't know about them. I think there's brands like 70 Hayal where they have huge marketing campaigns, and I think a lot of the interest has come from that side of things, really, like TikTok and everything. But I think it's a really nice treatment, like you say, to discuss with your clients, because people just normally think of like Botox and filler, don't they? Skin boosters are kind of like a bit like of the unknown for a lot of people. So it's nice that you can really influence them, because I always say this, if aesthetics treatments are not a quick fix. And I think 10 years ago, people did think that it was like, oh, Botox and fillers will just fix everything. But it's all about taking care of the skin and those maintenance treatments, which are going to make your filler and Botox treatment.
Even more better, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel that it's a good icebreaker as well, getting into the aesthetic kind of like treatment plan. Because you've got a lot of people, they always think, oh no, I don't want to look like this, or I've seen horror stories or whatnot. And it's quite funny because it's just like I'm reading them in, like,
yeah, it's like I call skin boosters the gateway treatment.
It really is. Like, I started off giving my husband skin boosters, and now he's getting Botox. He's like, I would never get Botox, but now he's loving it.
Yeah, yeah. But I bet you're just constantly on it. I'm like, come on, just want to do Botox.
Yeah.
No, I love that. So at what point did you you decide that aesthetics was sort of what you wanted to take the leap into, having done beauty for such a long time?
Do you know what? Again, it's all down to my customers. I have a really good relationship with my clients. And it's just like I said, I'm a very honest person. I'm very approachable, and my clients, for some reason, think I'm really knowledgeable. I'm sure
you are.
That would be really clever. I'm like, oh, I don't think so. But my clients, they trust me, and that's just such a nice thing to know, that people like, you know what, Mon, if you're saying like this is good or whatnot, then I'm going to trust you on that. Yeah. I'm going to believe you, and you know, I know you're going to look after me. So my clients were like, Monique, if you ever done Botox, if you ever done filler, if you ever done all those things, I would come to you. I would trust you to do this, because like, you're my beauty therapist, and I know you're going to do a good job. I know you're going to knock the ball out. So they kept on pestering me for years. Are you going to do it? Are you doing Botox yet?
I love that. I love that. So they were like pushing you.
Yeah, so they were pushing me, and I've got to say, I wish I'd done it sooner.
Oh,
I wish I'd done it sooner. For me, like I said, I love transformation, just like the brands of the company. I love transformation. And it's just crazy that something that could take like 20 minutes can do so much, as opposed to if I was just doing a regular beauty treatment, like if I was just doing like a facial, it would take a long time for us to even get like a percentage of the results that we could get with like fillers, boosters, like microneedling. It would take forever, but it's just crazy. I enjoy it. I enjoy it so much. I feel like I'm getting smarter along the way.
I'm sure you are. If you're doing lots of training, you know, you're researching things like you say for your clients.
Yeah, constantly.
You know, I'm sure you are. You know.
Yeah, constantly researching, and I love the transformation. Look, I've got my GOC1 glasses on. I'm all for it. I just love it when my clients see results, especially I think when you do aesthetic treatments, it could have been something that's affected the client for years, and they've really had like a hang up about it, and it's affected their confidence and everything. And just knowing that you have a solution for your client is just like such a rewarding feeling. I love it.
Yeah, I think the aesthetics industry specifically, sort of more so than beauty, so to speak, is so rewarding in that sense, because you know, things can be fixed quite quickly. You know, people's insecurities, people's confidence, and I think it's so great that we have these types of treatments so readily available as well. You know, you don't have to have surgery. You know, it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be as expensive as that. You know, aesthetics treatments are obviously very much a luxury, but it's just great that everyone has the access to them. And you know, I bet your clients are just like absolutely loving them, considering, you know, they were pestering you for quite a while to do treatments. So I love
they're loving it. They're loving it. My family are loving it.
God,
I'm just like, we're gonna age well together.
Yes, I love that. I absolutely love that. What treatments are you looking to add to your treatment list then? So is there anything that you're looking at training in or currently doing some training in?
I just wanna like be the best that I can be, really. So if there's things for me to further advance that, I know obviously we know there's a lot going on about the change in the industry, doing your levels. At the moment, I'm not in the rush to do my level like 5 and 7. I'm just going to sit on it. I just want to wait and see exactly what's happening. And of course, if I have to further my education, you know, to be the best and to ensure that my clients are even more safer, then obviously I'll do more training for that. So right now I'm kind of like sitting on it and just waiting, because I know that would be my next level of training to do that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are feeling the same. You know, it's kind of like, I don't want to invest thousands of pounds in more training if that treatment is not going to be something I can do, which is frustrating, I think. Just sort of moving on to the regulation side of things then. Obviously we've had the traffic light system released from the government, and we're encouraging everyone to fill out the questionnaire. What are your personal views on it, or concerns, or just general thoughts?
My general thoughts, it's a bit of a funny one. Because there's so many people that do it well, and at one point I'm like, has anybody died though? No. I know it sounds really silly.
No, I know what you mean. It's like,
you know what I mean?
Illegal.
Yeah, and I'm just like, is it a greed thing? Is it a greed thing that, okay, maybe other governing bodies want to get in on this? Because obviously we know it's like, what, a 3.6 billion pound industry. Is it a case where, doctors are like getting a little bit jealous, so that there's a lot of women out there and guys that are empowering themselves, that worked hard, that are doing well for themselves, created these flourishing businesses? Is it a jealousy thing that you want to hog all the clients? I don't know, but all I know is that there's people like myself, and there's thousands of other people in this industry that do it so well. It's a funny one as well, because when I go on training, you're training alongside people that are medics as well. So it's just like, do you know what? But I understand that, obviously, I think when it comes to training, maybe it's more of a making sure that the colleges or the course providers are at a certain level. And that they know, because there's no point someone, like, it's a funny area, because there's so much things, like, for example, I could have just qualified in a treatment, and then maybe 6 months down the line I could be offering the course, which doesn't make any sense. So I think that certain things need to be tightened up as well, because I've been on some training days and I've seen people, because I've done my teacher's qualification, and I've seen people there taking part, doing the same course as me, and they haven't been paying attention. They haven't, they've been on their phone, or they've just been a bit lazy about it. And I'm like, gosh, are you going to pass that person that hasn't been paying attention? But I have to realize not everybody is like me. Not everybody is like others, because how I treat my clients is like they're my child. Like, I'm not going to want to put you in danger. Do you know what I mean? But there's some people that are just away with the fairies, and they might not do a good job, or they might not care about their clients' well-being, and might think, oh, it's a quick bit of money, I don't really care if she comes back or she doesn't. And in terms of the layout of the traffic light system, like, who done that? Who organised that, by the way? Because there's some things. Have you got like Gary, who's like 67 years old, putting this down, who hasn't even gone and got a manicure? Do you know what I mean? Like, who is putting this together? Because there's some things that just on that list that don't make any sense. So you have put lip filler with the pen as a green. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody knows that it's not a good choice. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's certain things there, and you put radio frequency as, was that radio frequency is red or something? Like, I can't.
I think I think it was like orange or red.
I'm like, seriously, like, why is red? Do you know what I think personally? If you're gonna do all that traffic, you might as well put a lash tint and brow tint on there as well. Because how many people have had reactions to lash tint and brow tint? If anything, that's more dangerous than that. Do you get what I mean? Are we going to have to reevaluate the whole industry, the whole list of treatments? Because there's certain things that actually don't make any sense. And obviously there's some things that do make sense. But I'm just like, I don't know. I think they really need to be speaking to people that are actually in the industry. I know they've asked people to, fill out online a general questionnaire, which I've done myself. My husband's done done as well. But I just really feel that they need to actually get. It's not something they can make. They can't make this decision in a month's time. They can't do it in a year's time. It's going to take a long time for them to, go around and see what we're actually doing. Have you actually come into these salons and seen how people are doing things?
Yeah.
And have you actually seen that, how intelligent all these people are in this industry, and how much they always invest in their education? They always want to use the best products. Like, have you seen what's actually out there? Have you seen how talented British people are, and like what we're doing? You know, I just think it's a little bit of an insult, but at the same time, I do realise that there are some cowboys out there in terms of training, in terms of people, technicians. I understand that you do have to tighten it up. But like I said, if it's something I have to do, then I welcome it, because I would only want to be the best and stuff. But I just feel like they have to actually speak to people in the industry and actually find out exactly what we're doing, how we're doing it, weigh up the risks, like the pros, the cons, and at the end of the day, it's all about the client's safety. If it was really that bad, they would have just said, no one's not doing it. We've just got to put a stop on it. Because if it was really about public safety, for example, the dogs, what took the bullies, the XL bullies.
They just banned.
Public safety, they've just banned it. If it was really that a case in our industry that it was so bad for public health, then surely it's something he would be like, nope, sorry, can't do it. So I don't know, I'm just a little bit confused by it all. I just think is it just more of a money thing, that they want to try and, you know, make money from it? Because obviously we know, especially during lockdown, how much we was actually needed. We was overlooked. And we realised that it's not just us doing the treatment. We're seeing our clients, we're talking to them, we're having conversation, we're asking how they are. It's a whole thing. It's not just injecting someone, it's people's whole well-being. And I feel like they just want to get a slice of that pie. Do you know what I mean?
I do agree with a lot of the points that you've said. I think it's very confusing. I think that's probably the best word to describe it. It's like, okay, so we're saying that we need to be, if you're a non-medic, you have to be overseen by a medical person. So does that person need to be aesthetics trained? Because if they're not aesthetics trained, they don't know what hyaluronidase is. They don't know how to inject lip filler. So, you know, there's no clarity. But I completely agree with the training aspect. I think, you know, there's no kind of set standard at all within the training academies. Obviously, if something is CPD accredited and insured, then that's kind of the standard, but it's not enough. But I think that's obviously going to be looked at. But I completely agree with you. And this is why I've been having these conversations with people like yourself, because I think it's really important to get your voice heard, to actually have these conversations, show how long you've been doing this for, how much clients value you, how much of an expert you are in this field. And, you know, you don't need a medical pin for that. You don't learn aesthetics when you're learning to be a doctor or a nurse.
Exactly.
So we'll just have to see. We can certainly resume this chat when we know more and see where we are.
No, exactly. Yeah, definitely. But I think there's just like a lot of panic amongst us, and at the same time, it's a bit of a weird one, because you've got all these training providers like, do your level 5, do your level 4, 5 and 7. What happens if you don't actually need to have those? Like
the level 7 will still be like reviewed when the time comes. So it might be that actually we're going to scrap level 7, you got to do this instead. Or it might be, okay, your level 7's fine, but you also need to do this. You know, we don't know, you know, but apparently licensing will come into play in 2026, but then you'll be given 2 years to actually like have everything prepared. So it's going to be 2028 by the time that's kind of
I don't disagree with the license, because even obviously I've got a beauty salon as well. Even with that, like I'm based in London, I know around the country there's different licensing laws. But I mean, we have to have it for spray tans, and we have to have it for nails as well. So if it's a case where, you know, you have a license just to make sure that, you know, you haven't got carpet on the floor, like it's all wipeable surfaces, that you've got access to clean running water, you've got a first aid kit. If it's things like that, then that's fine, because that should just be basic anyway. That's fine. But it's just like, my problem is, are you actually generally doing it because it's a safety thing, or is it more a profit? Like you just want to, you know, get a slice of the pie. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we're all doing all right, but I understand that things do have to be tightened up.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it will be a good thing because there are cowboys out there, you know,
Yeah, no, definitely.
doing things crazily wrong / aren't trained correctly, aren't insured, you know,
Yeah.
doing it from their mate's living room with no
Yeah.
hygiene, etc. But the thing is, once these regulations or licensing or qualifications come into play, it will just be the great practitioners who will actually put the money in and do that and get those things done, which I think will be a really positive thing for clients, because clients will be able to know that the practitioners they're going to are doing things correctly and putting their safety first. So yeah, we'll just have to see anyway.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the Faces app then. So obviously you've used Faces for quite some time now, Monique. So thank you so much. You're very much a loyal Faces user. Do you want to just talk a bit about how Faces has helped with your business in terms of a business functionality point of view, and what kind of features you like to use on the app?
No, Faces has literally been a godsend. Obviously, we live in an age of technology, having our phones and whatnot, and like I'm just used to using like apps, and I just feel like it's just great because it's just, you know, I've always got my phone on me. I think it just looks more professional when you're sending something through an email rather than you know, typical pen and paper. You know, you've always got a safe records keeping. It's easy for me to go back and to look, to add pictures, put my batch numbers in. Like, I just love it. And I also find it was amazing when it came from when I had to basically do like prescriptive, you know, like toxins and stuff like that, because I didn't have a clue how to like find a prescriber. I didn't know where I was going to be. But now I just feel like it's like the Argos catalog. I've got so much choices. I'm like, right, who should I use today? It's just so good. And you know, in times I can't always get hold of my regular prescriber, but you know, I've managed to just go on the app and within 5 minutes I found somebody else. And it's just, I just love it. And it's just good because I've got literally all the pharmacists all on one page. I can compare prices, you know, delivery timings. It's just good that everything's literally in one thing. And that's what I love.
Amazing.
Yes, I don't know what I'm about it really, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I always say to people, you know, let's say I qualified in aesthetics, and if I obviously didn't know about Faces, I'm like, what do you do? Like, you can't just go to your GP practice and say,
no,
I need a prescriber for my Botox clients. So you can't just do that. So yeah, we just, in case anyone watching is not aware, we have over 1,500 registered prescribers available on Faces, so you can contact them. You can search by location, you can search by name if you know somebody, to see if they're on Faces. And once you've connected with one, you can process a prescription. You can choose which pharmacy you want to order it with. So I think we've got like 14 pharmacies now, like crazy amount of pharmacies. So like you said, Monique, you can compare the prices. You know, you're always getting the best price. You can choose the pharmacies you want to order with, and have the peace of mind as well that they're coming from registered wholesalers, licensed pharmacies, and they're all licensed products, and authentic and everything as well.
And I think, sorry, and I was just, you know, when you was just going back to regulations and tightening things up, and you know, like education providers. You know, I've been on courses when you just literally just give them one person's details to like go to. I'm just like, well, that's not going to work for me if that person's based all the way up in like Manchester or something.
Yeah.
So you would literally, there's so many people that have gone and done these courses and they're just so lost. They don't know how to find a prescriber. Like I see it on like Facebook and group chats. How do I find a prescriber? And I'm just like, Faces, just go on Faces. That's all you need. So I think loads of practitioners are so grateful for your services, because it would literally be like just being lost.
Yeah, and that's why it was developed. And you know, in terms of the we're developing. We're just like your clients are growing with you, you know, we're growing with you as well, you know. We're constantly taking on feedback from practitioners and people who use the app on what we need, what we don't have, what we do have which doesn't make sense, like all of that. So it really gets listened to, you know. We're only sort of taking feedback on from people who are using it, really, you know. So it's really important for us that you know, we get this feedback and everything to ensure that we're doing the best we can and it's going to be helpful for you for your business. Just to finish on a more positive note then, so we've talked about what's to come in terms of treatments, which we're not sure on yet, but can you just give us some insight, Monique, the most proud moment you have sort of within your career? I know that might be quite a tricky one, but is there anything that you look back on and you think, oh, do you know what, I feel really proud on that?
Do you know what? It's a really a silly one.
Oh no, okay, we like that.
I measure my aesthetic success down to my sharp boxes. I know it sounds really crazy, but I remember just starting off, you know, with the small little yellow sharp boxes. That would last me like months, and then now I'm going through the big, you know, the massive buckets. And it's just like moments I look at my bin and I'm like, oh, I need to call them to come and collect it. I'm like, you're doing well, girl. Like, you know, it's just like, look, it's not like a turning point. I'm grateful for every single moment. I'm grateful for every person that comes through my door. Like, I'm literally so blessed in terms of the business, and obviously been going for 11 years, but it's just little things that I look at that make me happy and shows how well the business is doing. Just little things like that, like me even going through cleaning sets quickly, like little things. And before it would last me ages, and I'm like, oh, I need to go and place another order. It's just little things like that. Like I see how busy I'm getting, and I say to my husband, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I'm going for all these sharp buckets and stuff. And I think sometimes he gets it, we're just thinking, oh gosh, we've got to call them out again. But for me, that's like a little measure, and it just shows me that you're progressing. Like for me, that's a visual representation of how well I'm doing, if that makes sense.
It's like pots of gold, sort of. So guys, don't look at your bank account to measure your success.
No,
just sharp
don't look at the bank account,
and your medical work. No, I think I really like I like that though, because it's like you say, visual representation. Not necessarily the nicest thing to look at, however, you know, I think it's important to reflect on how far you've come in terms of your business success and your personal growth as well, in terms of your knowledge, your experience, your skills. Really important to do that. So yeah, guys, get counting your chart spins if you get a moment. And
don't tip them out. Don't tip them out. Just look at the growth of what.
I love that. That's so funny. But thank you so much for coming on the podcast, lovely. It's been so good speaking with you. We'll definitely have another one booked in, sort of when we get more from the government, but could be a year, could be 5 years, who knows.
All right then, well, thank you so much.
No worries. All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.